way to find yourself is to lose in the service of others. Sadhana. We all need continuous efforts to reach our goals. Neither strength nor intelligence only are the key to unlock our potential. Sahitya. Researching ancient history. History is important. To know nothing before you are born is to forever remain a child. US President Roosevelt said, the more you know of the past, the better prepared you are for the future. The importance of Jain Agams is that they propound timeless truths which are applicable across all ages. Discovering within. The key aphorism of Preksha meditation is Sampikaye apaga mapaenam. See yourself through yourself. Another aphorism is Apana Sajjame Seja Mittim Bhuesu Nakapae, which means search truth yourself and be friends to all living beings. This ensures that people don't have blind faith, but empowers each and everyone to believe that you are a drop of water and you can transform yourself into an ocean. Spread values globally. In the materialistic world, companies and organizations strive for global expansion and profitability. On the same note, JVB strives on spreading the message of peace and non-violence globally. The law of nature is such that happiness and peace multiplies when it is divided amongst all. Cultural roots. If our roots are strong, we can weather any storm. There are two things we should gift our children. One is roots, and the others are wings to fly. Activities and projects within India. Jain Vishwabharati Institute in India is one of the foremost accredited institutions for an in-depth study of Jain philosophy and comparative religions. The three pillars of Jain philosophy are Samyak Darshan, Gnan, and Charitra. Right perspective of faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. And accordingly, the motto of the institute is right conduct is the essence of right knowledge. In fact, a few people in the UK, including myself, did a distant learning master's course in Jainism, which has ignited the thirst of knowledge to learn more about this pristine philosophy. Mahapragya International School. Respected Shramaniji Pratibha Pragyaji, before she came to the UK for her PhD studies, was head of this school in Tampur. It is involved in the upliftment of rural community who otherwise would not get basic education. There are opportunities for underprivileged children to learn IT skills, which is where the future is heading towards. Ayurvedic Institute. The aim is to focus on researching and manufacturing Ayurvedic medicine, which are known to have beneficial properties without side effects. Nature is the greatest place to heal and recharge. Preksha meditation. There are numerous Preksha meditation centers for our well-being and spiritual growth. Respected Shramaniji Pratibha Pragyaji's PhD researched the evolution of Preksha meditation right from ancient times to medieval ages to modern day adaptations. And she also studied how different ideologies, philosophies, modern science, and medicine have synergies with Preksha meditation, which is a generic meditational technique beneficial to the entire society, not just for the Jains. Therapant Mahasabha. They have a strong network across India and are actively involved in looking after the welfare of monks and nuns and expanding overseas, propagating the message of the Therapant saints. Now, JVB as a global institute. JVB has international centers in USA and UK. In the USA, there are JVB centers in Houston, New Jersey, and Florida. In fact, in Florida, respected Shramanijis have been affiliated with the Florida International University in Miami for Jain Studies program. Isn't it heart-rendering that Jainism has become a recognized faith, inspiring many youth, many of whom are not from the Jain background, to learn more about this unique religion? Gone are the days when many of us used to classify ourselves as a branch of Hinduism, and now Jain studies are integrated into the academic curriculum. We also have with us here Professor Peter Flugel from the School of African and Oriental Studies, who was a supervisor of respected Shramaniji for her PhD studies. Him and his research students' in-depth knowledge of the Jain philosophy would put all of us to shame. Who are the Shamnijis? We know that Jain monks and nuns are called sadhus and sadhvis, who take major vows of ascetic life and traditionally do not use any means of transportation to travel besides foot. So, in that case, what is the difference between a sadhu, sadhvi, and shamans and shamnijis? Acharya Tulsi realized that there was a need for a new category of monks and nuns called shamans and shamnijis, who had some relaxation of rules such as those of travel, food, use of modern technology such as computers and phones. It was in 1980 that the first shamans and shamnijis were initiated. When their guru feels that the shamnijis have themselves been spiritually evolved and adequately served the society, he would then initiate them into a fully fledged sadhus and sadhvis who would then not travel outside India. Friends, can you imagine the days of the early 1900s when the initial immigrants came to this country and they struggled to uphold their cultural values and beliefs? Diet was a problem, to now where we have got Jain saints walking the streets of London. We are indeed living in a blessed era. JBB London. The presence of respected Shamnijis in London has been here over the past 20 years. We have a committee of 8 members and many devotees and volunteers, all committed to further the vision of JBB for personal transformation, spiritual uplift, and the welfare of the society. The activities. Every Sunday, we have regular Sunday sessions with respected Shamnijis who expound on Jain texts such as Adhyatma Padavali, Mananusashanam, very complex texts but all explained in English. Periodically, there are workshops on Preksha meditation and well-being, special camps for women's health, and many more. All religious festivals are appropriately celebrated through mantras, jap, pratikaman. Should people have depression, doubts, dilemmas, all of them can be dealt with Shamnijis through one-to-one meetings and personal counseling. There are children classes taught by respected Shamnijis for their holistic development, teaching sutras, stories, mantras, and meditation. From my own personal experience, my 3 young children from the age of 3 years were learning Bhaktamar Sutra from respected Shamnijis, and they become quite adept at reciting these sutras. It is common observation that during happy days, one does not turn to spirituality, but when trouble strikes, one resorts to any form of spiritual support. Respected Shamnijis have visited people at hospitals and even given last rites to people at their final stages of their journey to move on with equanimity and peace. One striking example is that of an English lady called Julia, who had a strong affinity for Indian culture and values, and during her terminal stages of cancer in UK, asked respected Shamnijis to help her. She said, "I cannot go to India, but India has come to me." And through the power of mantra recitation, she passed away peacefully, as you can see in the photograph. Respected Shamnijis are interested in the welfare of one and all. They bless us during happy occasions, birth naming ceremonies, marriages, housewarming, and even mangling for important events and for exams. They represent Jains for all interfaith events, and they represented Jains at the Parliament and the Vatican, and even having the audience with the Pope. Respected Shamnijis have visited across UK and universities. In short, Shamnijis assist us right from cradle to cremation, and not even primarily from the cradle, but from conception to cremation. Lastly, respected Shamnijis represent monks and nuns. No Jain scholar or expert can act as a proxy. They walk the talk, we simply talk the talk. JBB is unique amongst all other Jain organizations, having the ambition of having a permanent base for Jain monks and nuns. On that note, I'm happy to inform you that we recently paid deposit on a property in Harrow, and further details will be given by Bijal Mehta. Shamnijis are an integral part of the community. They have no sectarian and communal bias. They are all proficient in English, who can greatly assist our children. To that end, I'm ever so grateful to His Holiness Acharya Shri to bless us with Shamnijis for our spiritual upliftment, because as Pope Francis says, take care of your spiritual life, as this is the backbone of everything we do and everything we are. Om Arham.
Thank you, Rajeev, for such an informative talk. The first line of the beautiful prayer goes as follows. Hey Prabhu Anand Data Gyan Humko Dijiye. O Lord, grant us knowledge. When we consider that the Jineshwar Bhagwan is Keval Gyani, i.e. has perfect knowledge, the expanse of Jainism is so vast that to uncover certain hidden treasures requires deep and extensive research. And to support such a search for this hidden knowledge is very worthy of acknowledgement and appreciation. JVB would like to express gratitude to those that have supported Samani Pratibha Pragyaji for the past 4 years during the completion of her PhD. I will shortly request Professor Atul Bhai to please join me on stage and to express thanks on behalf of Jain Vishwa Bharati to our donors and supporters. Before I do, whilst an introduction of Atul Uncle is hardly required, in brief, he is a professor of accounting and finance at the University of Suffolk, a passionate supporter of Jainism, an author of numerous articles and research papers, and most recently, the author of Jainism and Ethical Finance, a Timeless Business Model, Mr. Atul Bhai Shah. Just a polite reminder, no applause if possible, just give us your blessings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Today, when the word religion is spoken in the West, one word comes up for many people, especially the educated elites, and that is fundamentalism. Religion equals fundamentalism. Now, we are here gathered to celebrate the doctoral thesis and accomplishment of a Jain nun, born and raised in India. We, as a culture and as a community and as a tradition, have effectively allowed our own religion and philosophy to be challenged by a renowned Western university and institution. We cannot get any better testimonial of a vibrant, lively, open-minded, living culture, one of the oldest living cultures of the world, than this event today. Even when we look at the prayers which Sagar and his team started us with, the people behind organizing this gathering, all the different communities of the Jains living in the United Kingdom, coming together to celebrate, we are saying that the reason we have survived in this planet for thousands of years, when so many traditions have failed or collapsed, is precisely because of our open-mindedness. And many religions are open-minded also, not just the Jains. But we have continued to be and will continue. So today we are celebrating that. Now, to have a living community, we need living teachers and soldiers. And Rajeev gave a fantastic explanation of the work of the JVB and our soldiers of peace here today. But to keep these soldiers, to look after their well-being, requires a living community. And so many of you here today have sacrificed your time, your income, your